One of the biggest things that I'm seeing today in the market is that we have a huge math problem. Now, there's all sorts of forecasts of, hey, the market's going to go up, the real estate market values are going to go up, the real estate market's going to go down, the new rates, the higher the rates go, the slower the market will be. And there's little things that are true to that statement, but ultimately, we have the biggest math problem here in the Columbus, Ohio area, where I looked I just looked a second ago, looking right now, 2,144 active listings. Now here's the problem, is that we have roughly 4,000 home buyers actually looking right now, and if it was something that was in their price range and something that they could buy right now, they would put it in contract. And so herein lies the biggest issue, is that there is a rally right now. Home values are not going down. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because things over $500,000 are taking just a bit of time, generally, depending on the area, to sell. But at the same time, you've got a lot of homes that are in the, I really hate saying it like this, under $500,000 is the affordable range. But under $500,000, if there is something that is priced right, it's not weird. That's another big thing, is if you've got the things that most people want, and that is going to be more than 2 bathrooms, more than 3 bedrooms, having a living room, having an open space, not something that's all choppy, not something that is a historical property. Sometimes that can be cool, depending on the area. But in general, weird stuff that is what they call in appraisal functional obsolescence, things that we don't have anymore. It was very common at one time, but now there's those things that everybody wants. And so as long as you don't have kind of a strange property and you're not trying to push the price there, you're going to be going into contract fairly quickly. Now, I'm not saying overnight, but I am saying that there are enough people looking for your home and are looking to put something in contract right now for almost any price range. And as long as it's not weird, you should be okay. So all that to say is, I don't know when this market's going to stop rallying, because right now, as we've come into this new year, we've seen rates as low as national average of high 5s. We've seen 7s, and it doesn't really seem like there's really too much pullback as of right now. So all that to say, if you're wanting to make a move on something here in Central Ohio and start that process, the values are pretty much relative. Now, where we get really strange, so if the values are going a little lower, it takes a little time to sell something. This is kind of the same thing we saw at the end of last year. Values went down a little bit, but they all stayed the same. So you never really lost any equity. If you sold your house at the end of last year, you've got a higher equity. Maybe you can buy just a touch down lower, but you're not going to be winning like some miraculous, amazing deal as of yet. I think that the rates will have to be significantly higher for that to happen. But regardless, there's still so many people moving into the area. There are so many people still wanting to make a move, want to get into that upgraded house, and so there it is. So there's really nothing else to say besides that, except for if you're thinking about making a move, it still is from a value standpoint. Now, I'm not in your own personal budget. That would take a conversation to be able to figure out what would be the best move. But from a value standpoint, it is still a great time where you're not losing or gaining. There's not much movement in those values right now. It's still you can still make a move fairly quickly. So, and that's timing out. So actually, I had a conversation yesterday with some great people, and they were wanting to actually sell a couple properties to be able to buy this significantly larger house than what they have now. And so I had to tell them, and they're afraid of losing out on it. And I had to tell them, hey, don't make that move yet, because of the value that they were going to lose on their couple of rental properties. They had 2 rental properties. They wanted to sell them really quick with tenants in them. And I said, well, hold off on that, because it would be better for you to try to do something in a financing approach, and because you're going to lose so much money, because if you try to sell a house with a tenant in it, you're only going to appeal, you're only going to appeal to investors. And no offense to investors, but they never want to pay what something's actually worth because they aren't living there. They're looking at it from a completely, almost 100% financial perspective versus home buyers. Same thing as me. It doesn't matter if you're in the industry or not. If you're looking to live there yourself, you look at it from a different lens because you're looking at it from a lifestyle and from a financial standpoint, and that is much more of an emotional decision that you have. So, all that to say, hopefully you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.